Welcome to the San Dimas Teacher of the Year Awards. My name is Raymond Foster, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies this evening. As is our custom, we will begin with a salute to the flag of our country and an invocation. Please rise and remain standing through the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Holy God, as we gather here today as members of the San Dimas community, we pray that we are mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community. We keep in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. We celebrate the teachers who sacrifice each day and strive to make this world a better place, one child at a time. We pray this in your name. Amen.
In addition to being your Master of Ceremonies this evening, I'm the President of the Rotary Club of San Dimas, a past Master of the San Dimas Masonic Lodge, and a board member-elect of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. When I was 4 years old, my parents owned a great big Chevy station wagon. It was a huge beast. And I would ride in the middle of the back seat standing up, and as we would go down the highway, I would point to signs, and I would say to my mother, "What does that one say?" And she would read it to me. And I would point and say, "What does that one say?" And she would read it to me. And I probably remember this so vividly because my mother tired of this game rather quickly. And a short time later, though, I would meet Mrs. Anderson, my kindergarten teacher. She not only had that same magical power, but she was willing to share it. She taught me to read. I'm getting the sign there with a key. Mrs. Anderson was followed by Mrs. Hogan, Mrs. Black, Mr. Bird, Mr. Framini, Mrs. Coe, Mr. Hamilton, and Mr. Peed. I suspect I remember Mr. Peed for more than his contribution to my education, but I do remember his name. Mrs. Anderson retired when I was in the second grade, and I suspect she's long shuffled off this mortal coil. And yet I assure you that more than 60 years after I met her, she's standing here right beside me because she taught me to read these words. She taught me to pronounce these words. She taught me to write these words. We're here to celebrate our Teachers of the Year, but it's not just this year, because I guarantee you, decades hence, one of your students is going to recall your name. And perhaps at an assembly just like this, one of those students will conjure up your image, your voice, your contribution, as I have done Mrs. Anderson. As we begin, let us first recognize our teachers. If you're a teacher, educator, or staff or administrative person who supports teachers, the ones who've taught us to read, please rise so we can thank you for your service. Come on, teachers. Thank you so much. We have with us a number of community leaders and community servants in attendance. I'd first like to recognize the representatives of our state and county officials. Please stand when your name is called and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Marco Lundgren, District Representative for the Office of Senator Anthony J. Portantino. I know he's here. And Aldo Ariano, Special Assistant and Field Deputy for Los Angeles County Assessor Jeffrey Prang. There they are. Thank you for being in attendance tonight. Now, I don't know if it's a good thing that you've known somebody for 40 years, but I know it's a good thing that you can call them a friend after 40 years. So it's my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce to you my friend and the mayor of our fine city, our hometown, Emmett Badar. Next, I'm honored to introduce the elected members of the Bonita Unified School District Board of Education. When your name is called, please stand and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Derek Bamano, President. Glenn Kremen, Vice President. Jim Elliott, Member. Greg Pilato, Clerk. And Chuck Coyne, Member. Thank you for your leadership. With us this evening, we have members of the school district leadership team. When your name is called, please stand and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Superintendent Carl Coles, Assistant Superintendent Kevin Lee. Thank you, gentlemen. We are also joined tonight by several members of the board of the San Dimas Laverne Education Foundation. When your name is called, please stand and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Alta Skinner, Mayor Emmett Badar, Chuck Coyne, Derek Bamano, and Greg Pilato. Thank you for your contribution. I'd like to introduce a local business owner who is also the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce Board Chair, a Los Angeles County Insurance Commissioner, and a woman of distinction for the 41st State Assembly District in 2022, Marilyn Sparks. Also, we have with us today from Catherine Barger, Supervisor of the 5th District, her Senior Field Deputy, Sandra Croxton. Sandra, would you please stand? This evening's event was organized by the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. Would all chamber board members in attendance and CEO Sylvia Melendez please stand? Thank you for sponsoring this evening and Sylvia for organizing this evening. We're fortunate to have this event hosted this evening at Life Pacific University. Allow me to tell you about our host and our first speaker. Angie Ritchie is the president of Life Pacific University and a licensed therapist. She is an educator and mental health advocate, passionate about empowering individuals to live out their God-given purpose. Angie is a recognized voice in Christian higher education, a future-focused innovator with a proven track record of adaptive leadership. With 2 earned master's degrees in education and marriage and family therapy, her PhD research centers on identity formation, shared identity, and marital flourishing. Angie has been married to her husband Lou for 27 years, and they have 2 young adult children. Please welcome President Angie Ritchie.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to all our dignitaries, our state and local officials, the school board, chamber members, awardees, and of course, our family, friends, and community. My name is Angie Ritchie. As you've heard, I'm the president of Life Pacific University, and on behalf of our board of trustees and our distinguished faculty, it is a great honor to welcome you to our campus and to this wonderful event to honor our true heroes, our teachers. The university has been blessed to be part of San Dimas. You may not know this, but for 32 years. I know, we've been here. Many of our students and now alumni were graduates of your institutions. We are so thankful to be a part of this learning community that is committed to investing into the next generation of servant leaders and contributors to the public good in all sectors of society. Together, you have impacted countless lives. Nelson Mandela said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." It is one of my favorite quotes, and so true as education empowers people, communities, and nations to propel social, spiritual, political, and economic change. I experienced this firsthand and was compelled at an early age to enter the field of education. We all know teachers who have changed our lives, right? They've inspired hope, they drew out the best in us, challenged our ideals, called us higher even when we didn't like it, and they motivated us to be difference makers. William Arthur Ward says, "Teaching is more than imparting knowledge, it is inspiring change." Learning is more than absorbing facts, it is acquiring understanding. True understanding is a catalyst for action, isn't it? I am so incredibly humbled to be in this room with those who have year after year sacrificed time and their lives to daily inspire and catalyze action in others. So, we celebrate you tonight, and those who have supported you, husbands, wives, administrators, who have supported you every step of the way. So, I hope that you enjoy your evening, and I hope that you feel right at home because we are San Dimas University. Thank you, everyone.
If I could be joined on stage, we're going to begin the honoring now. If I could be joined on stage by Marco Lundgren, Aldo Ariano, Sandra Cruxton, and Emmett Badar, and Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee has been an assistant superintendent for the Bonita Unified School District for the past 4 years. Prior to being in Bonita, he held the same position for 4 years in Placentia, Yorba Linda. He has also served in 3 other districts in human resources as a principal, assistant principal, middle school, and math science teacher. He is finishing his 28th year serving students in Southern California and recently attained his doctorate of education from the La Salle University. Please welcome Assistant Superintendent Lee to the stage.
That introduction might be more than what I have to say tonight. But thank you, Mr. Foster. Good evening. My name is Kevin Lee, Assistant Superintendent for Bonita Unified School District. I'm so excited to be here with you in person tonight to honor all of our San Dimas Teachers of the Year. Let me first begin by talking about what a teacher is and what that actually includes being. See if these resonate with any of you. A teacher is a life coach, a motivator, a discovery guide, a trip coordinator, a negotiator, a cheerleader, resonating yet? A teacher is a rule enforcer, an eye-opener, a role model, an organizer, a reality checker, I'm halfway through, a fundraiser, an IT specialist when needed, a counselor, a dream instiller, a mediator, a truth detector, and a teacher is also an entertainer, a trainer, an event planner, a scheduler, a decorator, and I know that list can go on and on and on. On any given day, or even in just one period, all of our teachers act in these roles with our children. And this year, our Teachers of the Year were chosen by your colleagues as being the single best person at your school site doing all of these jobs as a teacher. What an honor, because you and I both know that all of our colleagues are out there every day giving 100% to our students. Beyond doing all of the jobs I just mentioned, all of our teachers impart knowledge to our kids through the art and the science of teaching, which includes first, lesson planning to create intentional interactions between the teacher, the students, and the learning, designed for particular purposes. Second, managing the classroom, not always an easy task, to provide classroom structure and interactions to create a safe, orderly, and conducive environment for learning. Third, the teacher must actively create cognitive engagement in those learning activities. And finally, the teacher must get informative and formative assessments through consistent, real-time observation and evaluation of what the students understand. What I just described as teaching takes a highly skilled, truly dedicated, and fully engaged individual. And those individuals are sitting amongst us this evening. If you are being honored by your school or by the city of San Dimas as one of the San Dimas Teachers of the Year, please stand so we can recognize you. Thank you. Each of you will be receiving an award tonight, but I think each of you know that you teach not for the rewards, not for the awards, but for the rewards you get from working with our kids. One entrepreneur and public speaker states, there's no greater rewards than to make a positive difference in someone's lives. You, the classroom teachers, you're able to do that every day, every moment you're with kids. On behalf of the Bonita Unified School District Board of Education, thank you to all teachers, and especially to those being honored tonight. I will now invite each of our Teachers of the Year and their principal to the podium to say a few words about the Teacher of the Year at their school site. First, from Allen Elementary School, Principal Debbie Grenier and our Teacher of the Year, Lynn Cody.
Doesn't go any lower. There it goes. The words that pop into my mind to describe Lynn are calm, quiet, flexible, and one she won't expect. Technology maniac. Prior to March 2020, Lynn would have never imagined jumping in and learning how to teach kindergarten via any platform from a computer. Yet she turned her self-diagnosed weakness and did what she needed to do, as she acknowledges a lot of support from her teammates, because that is what her students needed at the time. In all honesty, since meeting Lynn, that is absolutely what is at the core of who she is. She might not like it, but if that's what is best for her students, she will do it. Lynn has a great sense of humor and gives us all a good laugh in the office with her quick wit. She is completing her 41st year of teaching and is a true example to all of us by still approaching each day with the attitude of doing what is best for her students. Congratulations, Lynn, for being the Allen Avenue Teacher of the Year.
From Ekstrand Elementary School, Principal G. Wang, and our honoree, Carol Phipps.
Good evening. My name is G. Wang. I'm the principal at Ekstrand Elementary School. Many of you have seen the movie Mary Poppins. There's a scene where Mary Poppins uses a measuring tape and measures two kids, Michael and Jane. Michael, when she measures him, extremely stubborn and suspicious. Jane likes to giggle and does not put things away. Mary Poppins is practically perfect in every way. Like Mary Poppins, Carol Phipps is practically perfect in every way. She is our reading intervention coach. She genuinely cares about each student and their growth and their progress. She builds rapport with her students and encourages them every day. She's positive, energetic, and loving. Students know that she cares for them, and they want to do their best because of that. You will often hear her singing when you pass by her classroom or along the walkway in line with students who are following her. Students will always have a smile on their faces as they walk, listening to Carol's songs. Our staff and students are so fortunate to have Carol on our campus. Carol is the most positive, joyful person. She spreads positive energy throughout our school. Our staff becomes more positive and confident through her words of encouragement and supportive actions. She builds a relationship with students, staff, and parents because she invests in listening to them. She will help others in any capacity as needed. Carol takes problematic situations and turns them into a positive one. She is a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. She makes Ekstrand staff and students feel successful and valued. She's humble and does so much for our school. So thank you, Carol, and congratulations on being the Teacher of the Year.
And now, from Gladstone Elementary School, Principal Allison Daniels and our Teacher of the Year, Susie Amos.
Elementary, and I'm so excited today to be here to talk about Susie Amos. Susie brings passion and dedication to her kindergarten classroom each and every day at Gladstone Elementary. On any given day, regardless of what may be going on around her, what she may be asked to do, Susie always wears this beautiful and reassuring smile. She even has it on right now. As a kindergarten teacher, she is positive, consistent, and patient. Most importantly, patient. And her patient manner provides the perfect safe place for her young learners to be successful, learning and growing each and every day. In an IEP, an SST, or other parent meeting, Susie is a strong and committed advocate for her students. And as she sits in that meeting, you will often see her eyes glisten with excitement, hope, or sometimes emotions as she describes what her student needs or what they might be going through or the different types of supports that she hopes will be put into place. At Gladstone, Susie is always ready to lend a helping hand. She serves on our leadership team, helps plan celebrations for staff members, and is an enthusiastic participant in our monthly spirit rallies. Aren't you, Susie? My favorite memory of her is a 1 minute to win it challenge where she was asked to oh God, what was that you were picking up? Was it like some kind of... That's right. They had to unravel something, and she was a beast, let me tell you. I've never seen anything quite like that. She's quite talented in those games, and a lot of fun to be around. More importantly, her team, our staff, and her principal always finds that she is always willing to hold space for you during those really, really tough times. Whether you need someone to listen, just listen, or you need a gentle, reassuring hug, Susie will always be there for you. For all these reasons and many more, I am so grateful to recognize Susie Amos in her 19th year of teaching as our Gladstone Teacher of the Year.
From Shoal Elementary School, Princeton Adam Eslami, and Teacher of the Year, Kim Schneider.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Adam Aslami, principal of Shoal Elementary, and it is with great pleasure that I introduce our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Kimberly Schneider. Kim has been with us here at Bonita for around 10 years now, and in that time has made a tremendous impact on students and staff at our school. In the classroom, her students receive top-notch instruction. Her attention to detail and meticulous planning run through every lesson she gives. I often see her working in small groups of students, drilling literacy skills and foundational knowledge to ensure that every student in her class can learn and read. Using a mix of small incentives, positive feedback, and quirky humor, her students master their phonemic awareness and show fantastic growth in all areas. Kim wears many hats at Shoal. She is the department chair of our first grade team. Her colleagues adore her and how she crafts communications with parents on behalf of them all. She helps them solve their technical problems and is always willing to find innovative ways to improve student outcomes. While some people are set in their ways, Kim is willing to try new things in the classroom and go outside her comfort zone if it means that it'll help students learn and grow. As a mentor teacher, she takes aspiring teachers under her wing to build their potential. She collaborates with local teacher training programs to bring these new educators in to learn the Shoal way, inspiring the next generation of teachers. Even though she's a first grade teacher, she worked with her upper grade students as well. This year, she led our math team to a first place victory in our math field day. And I can go on and on about my praises with Kim, but I will end with this. She truly cares about every student in her classroom. She puts in the time and effort to help them succeed. Having sat in some of her parent-teacher conferences, I could say that Kim never shies away from doing what is best for students, even when those topics border on uncomfortable areas. Thank you, Kim, for all that you do, and I look forward to many years working together.
And now on to Bonita Unified's middle school and high schools. From Lone Hill Middle School, Principal Dan Gribben, and our Teacher of the Year, Dominique Betancourt.
Good evening. My name's Dan Gribben. I'm the principal at Lone Hill Middle School. We're right across the street. When you look up the phrase good students, you see Dom's picture. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't see her sitting and preparing for her students easily an hour and a half before the first period bell rings. She's compassionate and understanding to a fault. There are times when I walk into her classroom and I don't want to leave because she models how you reach middle school children. It's a joy to watch. The culture of her room is that we are all in this together and you're all working towards one goal, success in math, of course. Middle school is just a proving grounds preparing students for the rigors of high school. We all know that most students don't like math. Dom does a superior job making mathematics relatable. She tries to make sure that struggling students do well while still upholding the rigorous expectations of Lone Hill Middle School. Dom is not good for students. She is great for students. Congratulations, Dominique Betancourt, our Teacher of the Year.
From the Ed Jones Educational Center, Principal Mrs. Chris Black, and Teacher of the Year, Michael McCormick.
A few minutes is not enough time to share all of the wonderful things that Mike McCormick brings to our campus and to our Bulldog family. He is our senior PLC leader. He serves on our leadership team. He's our Renaissance and PBIS coordinator. He coaches sports, and most importantly, he is always willing to take on anything that needs to be done. Most importantly, Mike connects with our kids. He engages students and makes learning fun through a creative approach to teaching. He has an impressive ability to tap into students' strengths, stretch them safely outside of their comfort zones, engage them in learning, and help them grow as both students and good people. In his EWRC English classes, students are challenged to reflect and think critically beyond the walls of school and to prepare them to live their purpose. Mike also teaches our Renaissance leadership class, yet another learning setting through which he brings out the best in each student and cultivates their leadership qualities. He genuinely wants to see his students thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Mike does an outstanding job of nurturing our positive school climate. I especially appreciated his work during distance learning by holding virtual rallies that included creative ways to engage students and staff alike and keep us connected. He helps promote positive relationships between adults and students by pairing us up as teams in a variety of competitive games throughout the year. Mike consistently looks for ways to do what we do even better. He is truly a partner in our commitment to ongoing school improvement in both the classroom and on campus. Mike models good citizenship, selflessness, and compassion by having students organize activities to help others. He coordinates our 30 Days of Giving event with activities planned every day of the month. His classes make gifts to present to the members of the San Dimas Seniors Club. They organize food drives and clothing drives for the needy and homeless, a candy drive for our military troops. They make blankets to give to the House of Ruth, and they put together self-care kits for the homeless to donate to a local church. Mike is an essential piece of the heart of our Bulldog family. We are fortunate to have him, and I am blessed to work alongside of him. To quote Mike, and by the way, the quotes, if you look next to his picture, when he was asked to provide a quote, I hadn't seen that until tonight. That's a quote from one of our graduates that really helps express the feeling of our students on campus, thanks to our teachers like Mike, who build the kind of positive learning experience for kids that he does. But to quote Mike, all you need is love and a bulldog. Right, Bulldogs? Woo-woo-woo-woo!
From San Dimas High School, Principal Mr. Scott Sparks, and Teacher of the Year, Jennifer Resendez.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Chamber for doing this. This is an awesome event, so thank you so much for putting this on. So I've been wondering lately, what's the difference between an average teacher and an awesome teacher? Well, and I've come to the conclusion. An awesome teacher is one that has high standards, that refuses to allow students to make excuses, but also has the love for that student to understand their situation. Jen Resendez, at 5'2", can make a 6'2" football player come to tears. Why? Because they're asking. See, she's done it. She knows. And they do that because they're asking for forgiveness because of disappointment from their teacher, that they knew they could have done better, and she reminds them that they can do better. She has very high expectations for them. She has high expectations for me. She makes me cry times. She also has that same attitude with her staff. She expects all teachers to have that high expectation, but she just doesn't expect it from them and then upset when they don't meet it. She goes out and helps them go over that high bar, and they love her for that too. That's why she's my instructional leader in SPED, because she is so awesome. I couldn't think of anybody more deserving than Ms. Jen Resendez to be San Dimas High School Teacher of the Year. Thank you, Jen.
Well,
Thank you, Assistant Superintendent Lee. President Ritchie, would you rejoin me on stage and make presentation to the Life Pacific University's Teacher of the Year?
Professor Mark Dusick, wow, you are a living legend. He's been a leader both at work and in the classroom at Life Pacific for over 38 years. Year after year, his scores are among the highest in course evaluations, not to make anyone else jealous, but Mark is obviously one of the most senior and valuable faculty members. He has immeasurably impacted countless students as well as our own faculty and academic programs. He not only models excellent pedagogy in the class, but he regularly mentors students who want to be teachers to do the same. He is sought out regularly by faculty to teach his classroom techniques, and as the chair of the Bible and Theology program, Mark regularly attends and leads recruitment endeavors. He and his wife attend student life activities, and you know what? He is all about relationships. I can bring a student on campus, or we can give a tour, and Mark is always there to say hello and greet the parents. I love that about you, Mark. Inside the classroom, Mark is a master teacher and a developer of curriculum. He truly is a teacher of teachers. Mark has consistently done well in course evaluations, and his students absolutely love him. He has spent hundreds of hours inside and outside the classroom, again, mentoring and getting better each and every day. You have very high standards, and we all seek to be like you. Mark has played a crucial role in LPU's accreditation processes, and especially for our institution acquiring WASC accreditation way back in the day. You have worked tirelessly for LPU in various areas, and you always care about the success of our students. Most importantly, Mark, you exhibit Christ in everything that you do. You have a beautiful family who is here right in the center, and many of you may not know, but our very own Josh Ortega is his beloved son-in-law. You are a blessed man. As Mark recently stated, I love this, legacy at an institution in the end does not matter. What matters is the students. I've been able to spend my life well by being with and teaching students. Mark, you truly are a master teacher. Congratulations on Teacher of the Year for Life Pacific.
Would Dwight Council, Senior Vice President of Education for McKinley, and Sarah Argulis from Canyon View School join me on stage for presentation?
This is my favorite time of the school year. It's teacher appreciation. It is graduation. It's high school, entering high school for our 8th graders going into 9th grade. So it's a very exciting time. And I have the extreme pleasure of saying a few words about our Teacher of the Year. I'd like to thank the Chamber as well for putting this on. I want to thank Sylvia for always reminding me of things that I forget, so I do appreciate that. And to our McKinley board members, thank you so much. Marilyn, Chuck, Jim, Alta, thank you for all the support that you give our school. But we're here this evening to say a few words about a very special person. That person is Sarah Argulis. Sarah has been teaching for about 5 years, and I just wanted to write the 8 reasons why Sarah is our Teacher of the Year. And I could think of many, many more, but I had to narrow it down to 8 minutes. In fact, my staff said to me, "You're going to speak for 2 minutes?" So I think someone's back there to give me a signal. 2 minutes gone. Okay. So let's start with the 8 reasons why Sarah Argulis is Teacher of the Year for Canyon View School. Sarah's first mission is to build confidence in all of her students, and that's no matter what their ability level is. We have students in her middle school classroom. She has a 6th, 7th, 8th grade class that have reading levels way below grade level, and she gets right in there, and she builds that confidence. And along with that confidence building, she's a great listener. She listens to what her children are saying. She happens to have all boys, so we know how that is. and she is so good with them. She's not only a mom, she's a firm advocate for them, and she lets them know when they're wrong and praises them, and when they're wrong, when they're right, she, of course, acknowledges that. Second reason, Sarah is a classroom manager. She gets into her classroom and she manages that classroom. It's almost like out on a boat, and she's maneuvering these young men and these young thoughts. Also, she has a strong points she sees the strong points in every student. Next point, fourth, she observes students at all times. She's always watching. They come to my office and say, Mr. Dwight, she's always watching us. And I said, I'm glad. She deserves a definite raise if she's watching you. Okay. She involves herself with all professional development throughout our school. If there's a professional development activity or training, she's involved with that from the beginning until the end. And she's one of those teachers at 3:30, she's not running out of the door to leave. She's there sometimes as late as I'm there, getting some things done and getting prepared for the next day. Lastly, she piques the curiosity of her students. Their curiosity is aroused every day, and I watch it. And they want to know more and more. They'll ask me questions, and I say, well, I need to look that up. But that's what she does. Also, she recognizes student achievement, and sometimes we forget to recognize student achievement, and we forget to recognize our teachers and the folks that we work with. But she makes a point of recognizing all achievement. And lastly, there's a quote that says, if you have a child's heart, you have their mind. Sarah Agriles has all of those young men's hearts, and therefore, she's able to tap into their minds and have them grow. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Sarah.
Would Principal Dina Davis for the Los Angeles County Office of Education and Dr. Stephanie Jean from Glen Rocky Camp School join me on stage and make presentation?
Good evening, everyone. Before I begin, I'd like for everyone to just think in their mind, camp. What is a camp? Dr. Nugini does not teach at a Camp Snoopy. She is working with students that are at Promise Youth. Our students are incarcerated. So that's why I want you to first think about where she is and actually what she does. With that being said, now you have the visual. So I will begin. Dr. Stephanie Nugini is a teacher who happened to be born at the right time and place. With over 20 years under her belt, Dr. Nugini works with students that are at Promise Youth. Many of the students call her Dr. Stephanie, which is really nice because with myself, they run away from me, but they run to her, which is really great. Dr. Nugini, her services and professionalism have been essential to successful special education programs at Camp Glen Rocky. Her leadership and presentations of assessment scores and finding at IEP meetings with stakeholders and have been very crucial in determining special education eligibility for our students and essential to their success. As a resource teacher for Camp Glen Rocky, she not only uplifts students in her caseload, she opens new doors of opportunities for all students, even with our most challenging students. Her ability to connect have been successfully and she's significantly superior in what she does. The students love Dr. Stephanie. They, again, run to her, and they want the resources and the help that she provides. So it is with great honor and pleasure that I present our Teacher of the Year, Dr. Stephanie McGinney.
This evening's event was organized by the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce and made possible by the contributions of Life Pacific University, Waste Management, Golden State Water, Foothill Gold Line, the Bonita Unified School District, the Rotary Club of San Dimas, the City of San Dimas, and all the contributors to the recognition baskets listed in the program. Please join me in thanking them. After dismissal, if we could have all of the awardees and all of the principals to join us up on stage for a group photograph after dismissal, we sincerely appreciate it. So the house lights will come up then, and we'll take a quick photograph just coming up here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support and attendance this evening. This concludes tonight's event. Good night, God bless you, and God bless our teachers.